What's the difference between indica and sativa? In this video, I'll dispel some popular myths and get down to the facts about the different types of marijuana. I'm Dr. Michael Morgenstern with DRMTV, bringing you vital health information you won't hear anywhere else. So if you're new here, consider subscribing. If you search the internet for the difference between cannabis indica and cannabis sativa, you'll find a lot of fiction without much fact. Let's take a quick look around the internet. These individuals were asked the question and did their best to explain the differences between indica and sativa. But only one answer is right. Can you tell who has the right answer?
Some consumers prefer to use sativas during the daytime and indicas at night. Cannabis indicas tend to be more relaxing and have full body effects. Cannabis sativas tend to be uplifting, cerebral, and good for creativity.
Indicas are usually, they help to relax you. Most people will use them at night as a sleep aid, and sativas generally will give you more energy, let you keep more focus. So more people will use sativas during the day because you can still function.
Sativas being uppers, being downers isn't always the case.
When a strain is categorized as indica versus sativa, it's more talking about the morphology of the plant, which is just like the appearance and not so much the high effect.
That's right. The widely accepted terms cannabis sativa and cannabis indica refer to two different species of plants. This stems from the opinion of an 18th century botanist, Jean-Baptiste Lamarck, who coined the term indica because he felt that the plant's characteristics warranted a new name. The cannabis sativa plant grows up to 24 feet high and has a narrow branched leaf. The cannabis indica plant grows around the height of a human and has a broad branched leaf. But Lamarck has been criticized by many contemporary botanists for naming a new species when a species is actually a group of living organisms, such as plants, capable of exchanging genes or interbreeding. The classic example of a species is humans, or Homo sapiens. We have unique genes and DNA, and we can only breed with other humans. But all types of cannabis, such as sativa or indica, can interbreed, which is probably why some taxonomists say Lamarck made his decision with relatively little study. That's a pretty big insult coming from the scientific community. In defense of Lamarck, he didn't have the advanced genetic technology to make his decision. To put things in context, when Lamarck lived, people believed that you could inherit traits from your mother's previous partners. Ooh. Why should we care what the strains are called? Mostly because it's led to a good amount of confusion. Some say indica and sativa have distinctive effects, which is complete BS. Sativa is often described as being uplifting and energetic. Indica is relaxing and calming. If only life were that simple. There are definitely different chemotypes or types of cannabis plants that have different effects on the human body. In general, any marijuana plant can be THC predominant, CBD predominant, or a mixture of THC and CBD. This leads to many effects. It's also possible to have effects from the other ingredients in the plant. Ingredients like terpenes and flavonoids. Sativa or indica is really just something that refers to the way the plant looks. But looks can be deceiving. No matter how it looks, a sativa or indica plant could be bred to have the same amount of THC, CBD, and other ingredients. So technically, a sativa or indica could have identical effects when consumed. The only way to actually know what's going to happen from any strain is by identifying the underlying ingredients of a particular plant or strain, or observing the actual effects in real people. Let's look at some commonly reported misinformation about the differences between sativa and indica. Sativa is described as being uplifting and energetic, something that can or should be consumed during the daytime, but brands being marketed as sativa tend to have higher levels of THC, the psychologically intoxicating ingredient in marijuana. It's not exactly a great idea to be using that during the daytime when most people need to be focused on work, driving, or doing tasks that require sustained attention. Indica, on the other hand, is marketed as relaxing and calming because of its high CBD content. something that should be used at night to help with sleep. But the reality is that CBD in commonly used doses is actually stimulating. The sedation, which is falsely attributed to these strains, is usually the result of myrcene, a monoterpene. In fact, many of the observed effects that have been falsely attributed to high THC sativa strains or high CBD indica strains are actually related to the underlying content of terpenes, or flavonoids, which aren't usually even known or tested for in a particular product. What should you do if you go to a dispensary and see everything's categorized as sativa or indica?
Got the sativas over here at this end, and they're a really good headstone, really uplifting kind of high, make you want to go to the park and run through and look at the flowers. And then over here, it's the indicas, which are kind of like the body stones, which kind of like wheelchair weed.
How can you predict what kind of effect a particular strain will have on you? There's a few things you can do. The first is try to find out what are the underlying ingredients in a particular product. They might label the THC and CBD percent, the content or the dose in milligrams on a product. They might also list this information for other cannabinoids or terpenes or other ingredients that are in that plant. Secondly, you can ask, what kind of effect has been reported by individuals who've used a particular product? The third thing is trial and error. You can try a particular strain and observe the type of effect the product has on you. To summarize, there's no real difference between cannabis sativa and cannabis indica. The names only have to do with a way a particular plant looks, rather than the effects it will have. The only way to know the effects is by testing for the underlying ingredients in a plant, such as the THC and CBD amounts, or by observing the strain's effect on people who use it. Question of the day. Have you tried sativa and indica brands? Were they labeled for their underlying THC, CBD, cannabinoid, or other ingredients? What kind of effects did you experience? Let me know in the comment section below. Remember, some of the best ideas come from the community, so make sure to connect with everyone in the comment section. Thanks so much for checking out this video. Hit the like button if this was helpful, and make sure to subscribe for more videos like this at DRMTV, bringing you vital information to improve your health that you won't hear anywhere else.